Hi Leo, welcome to your week ahead horoscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Leo, this is for you, and I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. So for your key to the week this week, you got the Lovers card. For those of you that are single, good news, finally, right? This could be where you're connecting with somebody. I gotta be honest, in this specific deck, the Lovers card really does speak to me more about the lusty side of connection rather than sort of like the mushy side. So as long as you're aware of and prepared for that, this could be a week where if you're single, you could be meeting somebody that really wants to pursue you on that physical level, and they're hoping that the emotional stuff will follow after. If that's not for you, obviously you're going to have to find a way to navigate that. For those of you that are partnered, married or in long-term commitments, this could be a time where you and your significant other are getting a lot closer. Outside of all of the lover and relationship stuff, if you're not interested in that, this also suggests that this week there are going to be choices to be made. Now, you know, we make 1 billion decisions every week. We make hundreds of thousands of decisions every single day. It's not hundreds of thousands, but it is some crazy number. Like I remember reading an article where they said like your brain makes so many decisions in a day that it's crazy, like the most advanced computer. All jokes aside, this is a week where a specific large scale decision is going to be made, and this might be one that challenges you in that heart space level. Maybe not necessarily because there's somebody attached to it, but it might just be that what you're deciding to do or pursue has a really big impact on your life from here on in. With that said, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help us all on our paths to our highest vibrational good. So for your actions and options this week, you have the Mother of Pentacles. So this is the Queen of Pentacles, and your actions this week, especially with the Lovers card, this is you making decisions on your financial outlook and your resources. I think this is going to see you getting really honest about the money that you're making, the way that you're using your money. I think this is also going to be a time where you're looking to get more out of the resources that you have. Maybe this is looking at your savings and saying, okay, where and how can I make this money work harder for me? This actually is a good thing for some of you, because the word that I'm hearing is diversify, and I know anybody that has a portfolio always says that that's something that you should do. So this might be a time where over the course of this week you might really start looking at what your options or your potentials are to increase your money, to make your financial resources and financial standing better, but also how to get the most out of what you already have, i.e. making your savings work for you. I know here in the UK interest rates are finally going up, which is good news for people that save money. Now, another way that this could show up for you though, this is you choosing to dedicate more time, effort and energy to the resources that are available to you currently. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Judgment card. So for those of you, although this is your communications and conversations, so this week a lot of the conversations that you have are going to lead to very big developments. And the reason I say this is because the Judgment card doesn't do anything by halves. So what this suggests to me is this week, a lot of the decisions that you make and a lot of the conversations that you have are going to really set into motion the way that things are going to be from here. So I would say this is actually quite a pivotal week for you, and I would pay attention to what shows up through conversations with people, especially if it's something that has been an ongoing challenge or issue or a recurring conversation that comes up again, because this week it's like once you have this conversation this week, some form of implementation or action will go ahead, and once it does, nothing will be the same. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this could, for some of you, you could, so like, you know, a lot of people, let's say, I always envisioned being a doctor when I was little, and, you know, now I'm studying to become a GP. For some of you, this could be a week where you decide, actually, that path no longer resonates with me, and so I'm going to start to look at what else can I do with the qualifications that I'm currently in line to gain. And that change is going to be quite significant. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, I wouldn't be surprised if the feeling that I get from this week, for those of you that are employed by someone else, I kind of feel like this is you either giving them a piece of your mind or demanding either more money, more resources, or fairer treatment. In some way, shape or form, it's kind of like you're saying, this is what I need moving forward. Are you able to meet that, yes or no? And I think that, you know, there's a moment of real honesty with an employer. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, look, this would be a really solid week when it comes to your business to be very honest and very open with any of your collaborators about what you require from them. All right, so this is a time where, you know, really kind of being upfront and honest and open about what you need in order to make your business continue to function in the way that you want it to. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, I mean, with the Judgment card and the Queen of Pentacles, I would say that this week is probably a week where you're having a big conversation about money, about resources, and about what you're no longer willing or prepared to carry for somebody who can do for themselves. So this is maybe you putting a stop to something, maybe it's you withdrawing your support from somebody. Very possible. For your love and relations, you have the Three of Swords. So there are challenges in the familial ties. There are going to be some hard conversations had with a family member, potentially about money and resources. It also suggests to me as well, for those of you that are single, I kind of feel like this week it's like, maybe you could realize that an attraction to somebody really is just physical. And you know what? That side of everything could be great. But if we were to date each other for any more than that, it wouldn't be very fulfilling. And so for this reason, I think a lot of you are going to be making a decision this week about a potential partner. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, honestly, I don't think that this is the end of the relationship. But I do, however, feel like this is a very big difference of opinion, that it's like you can't agree to disagree and you just can't agree. So it's kind of like something's going to need to shift here, or it's going to have to be taken off the table. And I don't really know how easy is that if you're in a relationship with somebody. For your money and materials, you have the Moon card underneath the Judgment card. So this is money, resources, or finances coming back to you from old opportunities, potentially from old people from your past. There's money coming into you this week that comes from past opportunities, maybe old services that you're bringing back to the fore. For some of you, this could be an older idea for something that you're now ready to move ahead with. This is, whatever you're doing though, you're doing it very much behind the scenes. It's not sort of out there for everybody to see. There's something that you're bringing back into the fold now that will eventually become sort of public knowledge, let's say. When it comes to, I'm just trying to think what that could be for me. Selfish to the end. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Moon card is your vital waters. So it's also your lymphatic system. So I would look after that this week. This week, I would say if you're a Leo ascendant especially, do as much, obviously within your own personal understanding of your limitations and stuff, do as much moving around as you possibly can. All right, be really active this week. And then for your home and environment, I kind of feel like this is too much comfort. You know what happens when you're too comfortable? You kind of stop moving or growing. this might be a time where you're sort of looking around at how you optimize your space. So, you know, maybe have a designated space for work, maybe have a designated space for exercise. This is, I don't know why, but the feeling I get from, well, I do know why. The feeling that I get from this is that you've got to find a way to compartmentalize what you're doing this week. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.